Salvete omnes. Line poetry can seem difficult. Well, let's not kid around. It actually is pretty difficult. But if you have the right set of keys, you can unlock some of the most beautiful writing that's ever been written. So I want to try to keep things fairly short in this series and not get too bogged down in the details. But if there's anything that you want to learn more about, I'll see if I can find some other videos that do go into more detail and leave a playlist in the description. Key number 2, syllable length, also sometimes known as weight or value or quality. Why does every culture have some form of poetry? I think it's because at our core, we humans are naturally musical creatures and the rhythm of pattern appeals to us. But there are practical reasons too. Repeating patterns of poetry and music help us to remember. I personally still have TV jingles from the late 80s floating in my head.
Part of the 9X family.
That company went out of business in 1997. The song won't leave my head. Key 2 is different in English than it is in classical languages. English cares more for the stress of a syllable. What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east and Juliet is the sun. Latin cares about the length of a syllable. So there are long syllables and there are short syllables. And the poet can arrange these into a nice pattern. A syllable is long if it contains a long vowel sound. Most textbooks use the little hat over a vowel, it's called a macron, to indicate the vowel is long. So a, e, o, u. The 6 diphthongs are also always long. I, ow, a, oo, oi, ooey. Ugh. All of these are called long by nature because they're naturally long. Let's look at a few words to evaluate their syllables. Adhibeo, commemorare, haec, claudes, condent, inter, puella, nix, gladiator, and probus. First, we need to break them into their syllables. You, of course, remember how to do that from last time. Now we just look for the long vowel sounds and we find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 of them are long because the macron tells me so, and the other 2 are long because they're diphthongs. Let's mark these syllables as long syllables with this bar here. But there's another thing that can make a syllable long. If the vowel sound of a syllable is followed by more than one consonant. This is called long by position. And like all good Latin rules, there are exceptions and footnotes. H is not a consonant. It's not even really a letter, all it is a breath, so the Romans don't consider it when thinking about syllable length. X and Z are considered double consonants, even though they're in one letter, because X makes the K and S sound together, a X sound, and Z in Latin doesn't make a Z sound, it makes more of a TS sound, like a TZ sound. It's hard to do. Remember those consonant blends from last time? Well, since they technically make one sound, a poet can choose, if they want to, whether they're going to force a long by position or not. The one that comes to mind right away is in the word patris. The first syllable, pa, should be long because of the 2 consonants afterwards, but because TR is a blend, it's often counted as short. Now, taking all of this into account, let's go back to our words and try to find some long by positions. I'll mark them long as we go. First we see odd, but remember H isn't a consonant, so we'll skip this one, it doesn't count. The first syllable in commemorare has a short A followed by 2 M's, so that counts. Both the vowels in condent are followed by more than one consonant. Same thing with the first syllable in inter. The short vowel E in puella is followed by 2 double L's. Here at nix, recall that the letter X is 2 consonants in one, so nix is long by position. And that's it. Or is it? Here's the crazy thing about long by position, is that we are counting any of the consonants that come after a vowel in the same line of poetry, even if they're in a different word. This one takes a little getting used to. So let's go back to our random words now. Let's take a second look at this. Condent, inter. Here we go. Inter. The syllable ter is followed by an R, but it's also followed by a P in the next word. So the syllable ter is long. The same thing is happening in the last syllable of gladiator, the tor. It's not just followed by an R, it's followed by an RPR. So we've got 3 consonants coming after it. So the syllable tor is long by position. Whew! Short syllables don't have any of these crazy rules. Short syllables contain a short vowel sound. If it's not long, it's short. Let's go back and mark our shorts. And that's it. Now we have the basis for poetry. Long and short syllables that we can place into a pattern. Well, hold on to that thought, though. It's coming, I promise. Well, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! We're the one for... We're the one, we're the one, we're the one for you, New England. No too low. We're the one for you, New England.